Welcome to the channel. This is the continuing epic series What If Cha Hae-In awakened as a monarch first. Previously, we've witnessed Cha Hae-In's incredible journey from a skilled S-rank hunter to the formidable Frost Monarch, a leader who faced monstrous hordes, forged powerful alliances, and battled cosmic threats that could unravel all realities. We saw the rise of the Frozen Citadel, the fracturing and forging of monarch alliances, rebellions challenging her rule, and epic battles against corrupted monarchs and cosmic entities lurking beyond the veil. Now, the story escalates with Part 3, the final chapter of our saga, where the cosmic war erupts in full force, alliances deepen or shatter, and the fate of all realms hangs in the balance. Imagine the sky itself torn apart, a vast celestial rift tearing through the heavens above the frozen citadel. Through this colossal rupture spills chaotic torrents of cosmic energy, fragments of distant galaxies shimmering against bleeding voids, all pouring down onto the mortal realms like the very fabric of the universe unraveling. This isn't just a storm, it's the dawn of the final and most desperate battle that will decide the fate of countless worlds. Inside the grand war chamber of the frozen citadel, the tension crackles thick in the air. Monarchs and hunters, from every allied realm, stand shoulder to shoulder, their faces set with grim determination. At the center is Cha Hae-In, the Frost Monarch herself. The ancient frost crown on her brow pulses, a beacon of raw power and unshakable leadership, lighting the shadows with icy resolve. Her voice rings out steadily, cutting through the charged murmurs. The cosmic storms no longer whisper, they roar. Our enemies marshal in shadows beyond mortal comprehension. The fate of all realms hangs in the balance. This war will demand every strength, every sacrifice. Beside her, the shadowy Sung Jinwoo reveals grim intelligence, portals flaring wildly across the frontiers, monstrosities reorganizing into deadly formations, and fractured alliances now forced to unite as a singular, unyielding force. The plan is swift and brutal. The armies prepare for war. Reinforcements from every realm converge, arcane barriers thicken, and envoys rush to secure fragile alliances. The delicate threads of fate tighten. Now picture the battlefield. The desolation around the void rift, a scarred land washed in unnatural light, haunted by twisted flora and pulsing with unstable mana. Beneath the swirling and fractured sky, titanic armies form their lines. On one side, the combined might of frost, ember, verdant, and shadow realms, each bringing their elemental fury, fierce will, and unmatched skill. On the other, cosmic nightmares loom, grotesque beasts of void corruption, monstrous hybrids, and shattered monarchs twisted by raw cosmic chaos. When the battle erupts, it's a cataclysm unlike any witnessed before. Massive cosmic behemoths surge forward, their void-corrupted tentacles lashing with devastating force. But the Frost Monarch does not bend. She commands a tempest of ice, raising glaciers from ruined earth to cleave the beastly tides and shield her allies. Ember's flames roar beside her, burning the corrupted, while Verdant's nature magic ensnares foes in unbreakable thorns, and Jinwoo's shadows strike unseen and deadly. In the thick of this cataclysm, a titanic duel unfolds, Cha Hae-In against a corrupted monarch whose form shimmers between starfire and void. Ice storms clash with cosmic chaos, energy sparks lighting the sky as two immense forces collide in a breathtaking spectacle. The frost crown pulses as Hae-In draws on ancestral frost power, shattering the foe in a burst of glacial fury. With victory in that duel, the allied forces surge, pushing back the darkness step by painful step. But the cost is staggering. The ground littered with fallen heroes, savage magic lingering like ghostly residue, and the cosmic rift still yawning, threatening deeper chaos. As the dust settles, Cha Hae-In stands atop the highest battlement, icy gaze fixed on the swirling void above. Her whispered vow is carried on the wind across realms. We have held the line today, but the storm is far from past. Together, we will carve light from darkness until all of creation stands free. The battlefield had been won, but the war for the cosmos was just beginning. The shattered realms still trembled under the shockwaves of the first battle, but rest was a fleeting luxury. Far beyond the frozen citadel, dark portals pulsed with sinister light, gateways from which the forces of chaos poured in relentless waves. As Cha Hae-In and her allies worked to reinforce their defenses, whispers of a new terror began to surface: the Shadow Legion, a nightmarish army born from corrupted monarchs and cosmic void energy. Led by a mysterious entity cloaked in shifting darkness, they sought to dismantle the fragile alliances and plunge realms into eternal night. The Frost Monarch convened her council once more, the war room alive with flickering forms and urgent debate. "The Siege of Shadows has begun," Cha Hae-In announced, her voice resolute. "Their aim is to unravel us from within, to break our spirit before the final storm strikes." Hunters and monarchs alike steeled themselves for the brutal campaign ahead. As the Shadow Legion advanced, skirmishes erupted along vital frontiers, twisting frost and consuming shadows clashed across ruined forests and blasted plains. Cha Hae-In led a daring strike team deep into contested territory, combining her frost powers with Jin Woo's shadow mastery and Sariel's verdant magic. Their mission: to disrupt the enemy's supply lines and cripple the Legion's advance. The journey was perilous. They navigated shadow-infested woods where reality bent like a twisted reflection, confronting corrupted beasts and spectral assassins lurking in hidden snares. In a decisive clash within a sunken valley, Hae-In's icy storm met waves of shadow tendrils, a brutal ballet of ice-crushing darkness amid shattered trees and glassy frost. Jin Woo's shadows struck like deadly phantoms, severing reinforcements and creating openings for their allies. But the enemy commander revealed himself, a fearsome monarch warped by void energy, his form flickering between flesh and shadow. A fierce duel ignited, elemental power clashing in cascading explosions of frost and dark flame. Despite being pushed to the edge, Cha Hae-In's resolve, the strength of her allies, and the precise strategy carried them to victory. The enemy fell back, their assault stalled, for now. The chapter closes with the Allied forces regrouping under cold stars, the battle-scarred realms flickering between hope and despair. The Siege of Shadows was only the beginning, but the Frost Monarchs will burn brighter than ever. After the harrowing Siege of Shadows, uneasy serenity returned to the Frost Monarch's domain, but beneath the surface, the true threats lurked in silence. Cha Hae-In convened a secret council to investigate whispers of traitors and secret cabals operating within allied realms. Among her trusted confidants were Sung Jin Woo, the stealthy shadow monarch, Alara, the enigmatic envoy with deep knowledge of cosmic relics, and Park Ji-hoon, the resolute commander. They uncovered a web of espionage, shadow societies aligned with the cosmic entity beneath the rift, monarchical factions feeding information to enemies, and corrupted hunters swayed by forbidden magics. In clandestine meetings through the Citadel's frost-hewn tunnels, strategies were devised to root out betrayal without fracturing fragile alliances. Parallel to political intrigue was a race against time. New cosmic anomalies erupted unpredictably, threatening to tear realms apart. Expeditions were launched, venturing into chaotic, star-warped lands to retrieve lost artifacts that might turn the tide. One such journey revealed an ancient monarch relic hidden within a crystalline spire, its power capable of stabilizing rifts but guarded by spectral sentinels bound by ancient oaths. Meanwhile, Cha Hae-In faced personal trials from visions sent by the cosmic entity, fractured memories of monarch ancestors, glimpses of catastrophic futures, and harrowing choice points that tested her very will. Dialogue between her and Jin Woo highlighted growing tensions but deepening trust. Jin Woo: even shadows have secrets, but lying in the light can be just as deadly. Hae-In: we must be mirrors and shields, reflect truth and guard against deception. Amid gathering darkness, the veil between realms thinned further, and the balance grew ever more precarious. The chapter ends on a note of suspense: betrayal uncovered, relics in hand, but ominous presences watching from the shattered cosmos, ready to strike. The fragile alliance forged in light and shadow was beginning to crack under the relentless pressure of war, cosmic chaos, and hidden threats. Communication faltered between realms, mistrust whispered in council chambers, and old wounds reopened like festering scars. The Frost Monarch found herself at the heart of a diplomatic storm. Ambassadors from the Ember and Verdant realms presented grievances, the Ember accusing Verdant of withholding vital forces, Verdant questioning Ember's impulsive strategies. Meanwhile, the Shadow faction grew increasingly secretive, their motives veiled in shadows even from their allies. Cha Hae-In convened a summit aimed at repairing trust and redefining shared goals. The halls echoed with heated debates, veiled accusations, and passionate pleas. Amid political chaos, the cosmic storms intensified, producing deteriorating battlefield conditions. Combatants fought not only refractory enemies but also against volatile landscapes, tearing storms, mana spikes, and unstable rifts that threatened to engulf entire squadrons. On the front, Cha Hae-In led counterattacks against surging cosmic beasts assaulting key fortifications. Harnessing the full scope of her Frost Monarch power, she raised towering ice fortresses and summoned blizzard storms that stalled enemy advances. Jinwoo coordinated deadly shadow strikes behind enemy lines, severing reinforcements and supply chains. Despite these efforts, the shattered frontlines signaled the urgency of change. The alliance needed unity stronger than ever or else face a devastating collapse. In a reflective moment, Cha Hae-In confided to Jinwoo her fears, that power alone could not hold the fractured realms together without trust, sacrifice, and understanding. The chapter ends on a cliffhanger as mysterious monarch forces enter the battlefield, a potential new ally or an ominous threat yet unknown. Imagine a sky swirling with starlight and shadow. The cosmic war stretches beyond the dimensions we know, and from the depths of forgotten epics, the ancient astral monarchs arrive. Cloaked in shimmering light and woven from the fabric of distant galaxies, these monarchs carry the knowledge of cosmic wars lost to time. Their arrival shifts the delicate balance of power, stirring both hope and suspicion among the fragile allied realms. Our Frost Monarch, Cha Hae-In, stands poised with her council as the astral monarch emissaries reveal secrets from the dawn of existence, of titanic battles waged across stars and the slumbering cosmic entity now awakening, threatening to shatter everything in its path. In this chapter, the story takes us on perilous expeditions beyond shattered realms. Elite hunters seek ancient relics capable of turning the tide against the cosmic chaos. But these relics are fiercely guarded by spectral sentinels, remnants of pure cosmic power that test the courage and heart of those who dare approach. Meanwhile, the monarchs wrestle with their own inner demons. Cha Hae-In experiences visions, haunting echoes and warnings from her ancestors. These glimpses into fractured futures deepen her resolve, but remind her that every gain carries a price steeped in sacrifice. The battlefield erupts with elemental fury, as frost, shadow, foliage, and celestial fire combine in spectacular, deadly harmony. Jinwoo's shadows weave through the enemy lines, while Cha Hae-In's frost freezes the very air around her foes. Amidst the roaring of cosmic storms and the clash of titans, whispers of hope, trust, and camaraderie shine through, a reminder that even in the darkest night, the flame of unity burns brightest. As we close this chapter, the ancient cosmic entity stirs from its slumber. Its voice, a thunder rolling across the fractured cosmos, promises greater challenges ahead. The Frost Monarch's vow hangs in the icy air, together, we carve our legacy in the ice and stars. The fragile cohesion of alliances now strains under the relentless assault of cosmic chaos. The battlefield is no longer just earth and ice, fire and shadow, it stretches into fractured dimensions where reality itself is fragile and twisted. In the great halls of the frozen citadel, Cha Hae-In stands amid raging debates, old bonds fraying, new threats emerging, and truths best left buried creeping to the surface. The allied realms grow restless and divided. But even as suspicion gnaws, a desperate hope glimmers. The Frost Monarch, with her icy crown gleaming like a beacon against gathering darkness, rallies her closest allies for a pivotal assault deep within the heart of the cosmic rift, the source of the storms, the epicenter of chaos. The journey is fraught. Silent corridors of shattered realities echo with whispers of forgotten monarchs, and twisted beings lurk in folds between worlds. Every step toward the rift's core tests will, unity, and power. When the battle ignites, it is a clash of cosmic proportions. Frost and void intertwine, celestial fire and shadow dance in deadly harmony, and hunters fight alongside monarchs in breathtaking defiance of the consuming darkness. Amid the chaos, Cha Hae-In faces a new adversary, an embodiment of shattered cosmic wills, a monarch remade in the storm's unforgiving crucible. Their clash is as much a battle of wills and legacies as it is of power and fury. In moments of respite, the monarch and her allies share fleeting memories, hopes, and fears, strength drawn from the bonds forged in fire and frost. The chapter closes with the first light of a breaking dawn casting long shadows across the rift's edge, a promise of hard-fought victories, bitter sacrifices, and the unyielding fight yet to come. The victory at the breaking dawn was but a fleeting light in the darkening cosmos. The realms were still fracturing, old monarch thrones shaken by betrayal, ambition, and cosmic corruption. As the Frost Monarch returned to the citadel, urgent news arrived. Multiple monarch factions were on the brink of civil war. Some sought greater power, others rebellion, all exploiting the chaos brought by the cosmic storms. Cha Hae-In faced a tempest of political storms just as fierce as the battles outside the gates. The fragile alliance teetered dangerously, and whispers of hidden coups and treacheries stirred within shadowed halls. Simultaneously, the cosmic rift continued to pulse, growing unstable, threatening to swallow entire realms. Rift anomalies caused unpredictable shifts in magic and reality, endangering even the most powerful monarchs. In response, Cha Hae-In convened a secret emergency summit, inviting leaders who could tip the balance. Diplomatic negotiations were tense, fraught with suspicion and veiled warnings. Meanwhile, Jinwoo undertook covert operations to uncover conspirators working to exploit the cosmic chaos for their agendas. His shadows danced through hidden corridors, revealing plots that reached deep into the highest councils. Amidst political intrigue, the warning grew clearer. The ancient cosmic entity's power was no longer dormant but actively influencing events, turning allies against each other and feeding off the discord. Amidst turmoil, Cha Hae-In's resolve hardened. She prepared for a battle not just of weapons, but of wills, ideals, and survival. The chapter closed with a stunning revelation, a betrayal from within that threatened to unravel all she had fought to build. The bitter sting of betrayal cut deep through the alliance. Hidden within trusted circles, conspirators aligned with the cosmic entity had worked tirelessly, sowing discord and weakening the defenders from within. Cha Hae-In's world shattered as close allies turned to enemies, their actions threatening to unravel all hard-won unity. The Frost Monarch's heart hardened but her resolve only grew stronger. In the wake of this turmoil, urgent measures took hold. Security was tightened, spies rooted out, and new guards set to oversee the fragile peace. The scars of mistrust hung heavy in the air as monarchs and hunters alike struggled to reconcile hopes for unity with the harsh realities of internal strife. Yet amid the darkness, bonds grew stronger where trust endured. Fierce loyalties were renewed in solemn vows beneath the shattered stars. Jinwoo's shadows moved with deadly precision against traitors, safeguarding the heart of the alliance. The cosmic entity's power surged, its voice a constant thunder across realms. It manipulated cosmic storms and twisted magic, breaking and forging paths of war where none dared tread. Amid relentless battles, Cha Hae-In found moments of reflection and connection, a fleeting conversation with an old friend, the shared smile of comrades surviving another dawn, the quiet mourning of loss and the steady rekindling of hope. The chapter's climax unveiled a daring counterattack led by the Frost Monarch and her closest allies, a swift strike into enemy lines that shook the foundations of the cosmic entity's forces. Their unity forged a momentary beacon amid chaos. But this victory came with heavy cost, reminding all that the war's end was not near. As the cosmic rift widened, threatening to consume entire realms, the Allied forces gathered for what would be the most decisive battle yet, the last stand. The frozen citadel transformed into a fortress of hope and despair, its walls etched with runes glowing in defiance against the encroaching darkness. Cha Hae-In, her frost crown blazing with ancient power, rallied the hunters and monarchs alike. Her voice cut through the storm. Today, we fight not just for survival, but for the future of all worlds. The battlefield extended beyond mortal sight, ripping through dimensions where time distorted and reality bent. Cosmic storms roared as armies clashed with monstrous horde commanders wielding corrupted primordial energies. Jinwoo led shadow battalions, striking with surgical precision amidst the chaos. Lady Sariel and Alaric combined the forces of nature and fire, forging paths through the enemy legions. The Frost Monarch engaged the ancient cosmic entity's emissary in a duel that echoed across galaxies, ice and void colliding in radiant explosions. Every attack was a symphony of hope and sacrifice. As comrades fell and rose again, the will of the Alliance shone brightest in the darkest hour. The Allied forces braced as the cosmic rift roared wider, its chaotic energies twisting space and time. Reality bent and cracked around the battlefield, creating pockets where magic behaved unpredictably and the laws of nature faltered. Cha Hae-In stood at the forefront, her icy resolve burning bright despite the storm that threatened to engulf all existence. The ancient frost crown rested heavier than ever, a symbol of enduring strength and sacrifice. From the rift surged waves of chaos creatures, primal monarch constructs, and gales of void energy, all commanded by the ancient cosmic entity itself, an embodiment of uncreation and relentless hunger. The clash was apocalyptic. Forces met in bursts of elemental and cosmic fury, firestorms collided with tidal waves of frost, shadows tangled with radiant light, the heavens shattered with the roar of battle. Jinwoo's shadows danced through the chaos, dismantling the entity's minions with deadly precision. Lady Sariel's verdant wrath tore through corrupted beasts, and Alaric's flames scorched the battlefield's edges. But amidst the roaring conflict, personal trials unfolded. Cha Hae-In confronted the cosmic entity in an epic duel, a battle not just of power, but of wills and legacies. Ice met void in dazzling displays as the cosmos held its breath. Sacrifices were made, bonds tested, heroes rose and fell. The struggle reached a boiling point where fate balanced on the edge of a blade. The cosmos seemed to hold its breath as the ancient cosmic entity unleashed its full might. The skies turned a deep, ominous black, an eclipse that blot out stars and hope alike. Energy ripples from the rift distorted reality, bending time and space around the battlefield. The Allied forces gathered for one last, desperate stand. The frozen citadel transformed into a bastion of light amid the spiraling darkness. Monarchs and hunters prepared for the final confrontation, the battle that would decide everything. Cha Hae-In stood at the forefront, her frost crown aglow with both ancient power and personal resolve. Beside her, Jinwoo's shadows flickered like living flames in the dark. Lady Sariel's verdant magic wove protective wards, while Alaric's flames blazed fierce and unrelenting. The battle erupted in a storm of elemental fury and cosmic chaos. The ancient entity's forms shifted between dazzling galaxies and void-black abysses it struck with cataclysmic might. Cha Hae-In engaged the entity in a duel both brutal and mesmerizing, their energies clashing like cosmic storms, frost against void in monumental forces. The air shimmered with fracturing space and flashing power. At the same time, Allied forces battled monstrous legions, their courage shining amid despair. The clash of wills, powers, and destinies culminated in moments of ultimate sacrifice and heroism. As the eclipse reached its zenith, Cha Hae-In unleashed the full fury of the Frost Crown, channeling ancestral strength that stabilized the rift and pushed back the cosmic entity's wrath. Though the victory was hard-won and costly, light pierced the darkness, and the ancient cosmic threat retreated, forced to slumber deeper into the veil. The rift closed slowly, its stormy energies calming as the ancient cosmic entity retreated beneath the veils. Peace settled uneasily across the realms, marred by loss but brightened by hope. The frozen citadel stood as a monument to endurance and unity, its spires shining under the morning sun. The survivors, monarchs, hunters, and allies alike, gathered to honor those lost and to rebuild what was broken. Cha Hae-In, her crown now glowing with a serene light, addressed the assembled. Her voice was both strong and tender, reflecting the weight of victory and sacrifice. This is not the end but a new beginning. Together, we faced the darkness and emerged united. Old wounds began to heal, alliances shifted into bonds of friendship and mutual respect. New leaders rose from the ashes, ready to guide realms into an era of lasting peace and cautious exploration of the cosmos. Jinwoo stood silently beside her, shadows calm and protective, a symbol of balance ever present. Stories of courage, sacrifice, and hope became legends whispered across stars and worlds, inspiring future generations. The chapter closed with Cha Hae-In gazing toward the horizon, a future uncertain but filled with promise, her legacy etched into the fabric of time and space. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey through What If Cha Hae-In awakened as a monarch first. From her rise as a fierce frost monarch to the epic cosmic war that shaped the fate of countless realms, your company and enthusiasm have truly brought this story to life. If you enjoyed this saga, please subscribe to stay updated on new chapters and future stories, like to show your support, share with friends who love epic tales, and comment your thoughts and ideas. Your engagement fuels the creation of more amazing stories like this one. Stay tuned for new adventures, and remember, every great